We're a few months out from the release of one of the most hyped up horror multiplayer experiences to be released in a long time. The return of two titans to breathe life into a classic horror killer that truly deserves his time to shine. That's right, the Boogeyman is coming. Mikey the Main Man Myers is about to cause streamers to scream and yell or get big baby rage mad because they don't get to go killing. Which for me feels all too familiar. It's almost like both studios have woven the same song and dance a numerous number of times, and in the end, create projects that start off super strong, yet flop and flounder into games that die off in such a short period of time. So to see yet another asymmetrical horror game plop onto the scene that almost feels like it's been reskinned with a few new gimmicks and tactics, I just am not interested at all in partaking. Anyone who is, good for you, but I have my reservations. Before we dive into this topic, if you enjoy breakdowns and chats about the gaming space, mainly horror games and other stuff that tends to tickle my fancy, make sure you hit subscribe today. We're aiming to hit 3,500 subs before June 21st, so if you want to help catapult us to that number, hit that button, ring that bell so you can stay up to date on whenever we upload, go live on stream, or anything else that we end up posting about. Thank you so much, and I hope you enjoy. Let's start simple. As previously mentioned, as a genre, ASIM games usually don't have a lifespan that lasts extremely long. Yes, there is, of course, the giant Dead by Daylight-sized elephant in the room, but I think that oversimplifies the issue at hand with these games. Now, I've played plenty of these in the past, including, but not limited to, stuff like Last Year, Secret Neighbor, Evil Dead, In Silence, White Noise 2, Project Playtime, Depth, Outlast Trials, Dark Deception, Monsters Immortals. Hell, I was one of the Kickstarter backers for Hide or Die, one of the worst investments I ever made in my life, to be totally honest with you. Being as familiar as I am with this genre, when I tried out the ones that both Gun and Illfonic had their hands in, it genuinely felt extremely soulless in most cases. For the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game, there were rampant issues that were just met with band-aid solutions before ever actually being fixed, sometimes, even to this day, never even being fixed. Game-breaking bugs that would cause matches to feel completely unbalanced and unfair to either side. Hell, balancing as a whole with this game always felt half-cocked. One of the matches I actually got to play, since if you would leave a match before it actually began, the timers would stall out and you'd have to wait until someone else would come to fill in the gap. Survivors just rushed through the map, screwed around, and got the hell out of Dodge before Gramps even got his first whiff of blood to go down his guzzle. Abilities with overpowered, game-changing perks were introduced and locked behind DLC characters with no way to obtain them besides shelling out even more money into a game that had much higher markups than what most people had expected upon release. The developers also, based on all the research I've been able to do, just kind of seem to be pricks and overpromise quite a lot that has, to this day, never come to fruition because they've basically said, no more big updates, we're done, it's a completed game, fuck you guys, essentially. There were unrealistic expectations, overhyped hopes, and just a game that now more than ever feels like wasted potential for a fun and unique formula that felt quite enjoyable in its early heyday. In the case of Killer Clowns, it didn't fare much better, honestly. Fun fact for you, I actually got this as a birthday present from my fiance, who knows I am a massive fan of this movie. I own it on VHS. It was one of the first proper horror movies I watched. So when this was announced, despite my DVD burnout at the time being the strongest it had been, I eagerly anticipated the release. Convinced even a few of my friends that it was going to be something fun that we would play for a really long time, create goofy moments and memories we'd look back on for years. And you know what we got? Probably one of the most boring sets of matches that just felt unfun, no matter what side you were on, clown or human. The mechanics felt janky, there wasn't much in terms of feeling like you could defend or hide against the clowns. It just felt like a map where eventually we were just waiting for the clock to count down to Clownmageddon to come for us all again and again and again. Again, a major balancing issue that no matter how many hot fixes or patches that the game received, never felt like it could truly strike a balance to get people invested while also flooding their market with skin microtransactions and an overall lack of locations that felt genuinely interesting to play on. Both games, in my opinion, feel like they wanted to go super inventive, what with more than one antagonistic force versus a set of survivors, which, to be frank, does shake up the dynamic quite a bit. But the lack of balancing, lack of patches and updates that felt like they truly added anything meaningful, the entry barrier on the skill level you had to come up with to stand a chance at even remotely being able to play these games, and feelings of creating a way to siphon as much money as possible from its player base just drove me and my friends to not give an ounce of a shit about these after giving them the old college try. More than once even sometimes. Which, to clarify, I do understand the concept that a game that is a live service experience essentially can't be expected to keep itself going without some form of additional purchase. A game's initial cost won't be keeping servers running forever, but in truth, why is it a live service game to begin with? I feel like one of the reasons I want to play a game based on an IP as iconic as these two is to be put into the shoes of the titular killer or killers. I want to have the experience of creating those moments, going through a unique story, feeling something, hell, anything that was impactful to me. Like, I'd even do it as a survivor going against an AI and learn how to face and combat challenges that way. For some reason though, we keep getting more and more of these 4v1s or 3v4 games where you end up getting a somewhat lackluster experience that most time feels undercooked. I'll be the first one to say I am not a huge Dead by Daylight fan anymore, despite having about 500 hours in the game. But the matches have clear and concise objectives that offer quick, bite-sized experiences you can customize yourself. Sure, there is a lot more nowadays with boon totems, new abilities, changes that shake up the status quo on certain perks, but at the end of the day, they are also the most accessible and easy for people to just have fun with. Hell, if you don't want to go against people, you can just do it with your friends. Go into a custom game. Don't deal with the sweats. Just mess with your friends for an hour, taking turns as your favorite characters. It's usually on sale quite often, with the DLC being cheap as hell for most licensed characters you would probably want to play with to begin with. Because, to be honest, who the fuck wants to play as the Wraith or the Trapper? No offense, Trapper and Wraith mains. I totally understand. They are fun characters. But, like, the average consumer doesn't give a shit about the original shit. They just want to play as Ghostface. They want to just play as Michael. They want to play as Freddy. So this is the best experience for that. And that's not to say that people shouldn't try to make unique experiences. It's not to say that people shouldn't attempt to reinvent the formula. One of the big reasons I left Dead by Daylight in the first place, it was because it felt boring. It felt stale. No matter how many extra new totems or perks or this or that, it felt like the game got just so repetitive and so boring to some degree. But it also is consistently shaking up its formula and trying new things, which I feel like more times than not, most of these asymmetrical horror games just as a whole never seem to get that concept of doing something that feels ever so slightly unique. They all just feel like they're trying to scrape after the heels of Dead by Daylight, or they go such in a specific and unique direction that it becomes more of a skill-based matchmaking experience rather than just a fun experience that you can play with your friends. I understand, some people want to play these games in a more competitive setting, but there has to be a balance between fun and skill. It shouldn't just be a cakewalk, but it shouldn't necessarily just be something where you have to put in 50 fucking hours just to understand the base idea of the game. I don't enjoy when games do that, no matter what. Again, I don't play Dead by Daylight anymore, but there's a reason that it's able to stick around like it does. They're attentive, keep their promises, and treated their community with a huge amount of respect from everything I've seen most of the time. Is it perfect? Absolutely fucking not. But I would sadly have to recommend this over what the other two were able to cobble together after Friday the 13th got decimated, which I loved more than anything out there for the fact that it felt like they actually gave a shit about creating something fun for the players that they had. I know it won't ever come back, but man, do I genuinely just miss this game more than life itself some days. You can still technically play the single player, but like, it's not the same in this capacity. It never felt like it fully got fleshed out to its true full potential. Also, I wanted Jason X so fucking badly. Illfonic and Gun Media have sadly, to me, messed up their reputation beyond repair. And to see them now back together, everybody's saying, oh, it's a match made in heaven. Asymmetrical horror is gonna be back. Oh, wow, holy crap. But over the years, their perception to me has been eroded beyond recognition. Both major games they released felt like disappointments, farts in the wind that truly felt like they could never live up to the promises and expectations, and at the end of it all, feeling like IP horror game adaptations are dead. I do not care about the Halloween game. Genuinely, even with the addition of a story mode, it doesn't feel like it's doing anything except just recycling similar ideas from the previous attempts at games. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me for nostalgia blinding me. I refuse to be fooled a third time with this newest entry into the space of asymmetrical horror again. Which sucks, because I really feel like there's some unique ways to capture the spirit of IP horror while doing something new and refreshing. God, I wish I just had someone I could bounce ideas off of.
What about me?
Yeah, why not? This might take a while, though. Hello! Thank you guys so much for watching this little video essay rant thing. This was supposed to come out towards the middle of May, but unfortunately, due to work and such, as you know, the schedule kind of just went out the window. But I'm really glad I was able to finally get this video out. Technically, it is part one of a larger video that I'm working on with Marissa, as you saw kind of teased at the end there, which I'm not sure when that's going to come out, but we are going to be putting a lot of time and a lot of effort into it. So hopefully whenever we do, you guys do enjoy. Huge shout out to Kieran for helping make this video possible. I don't think we would have been able to release it this month if it was not for him. So thank you so much. If you guys want to go check out the work that he does for himself, he uploads usually weekly, so go check him out. Link in the description. He makes some banger videos as well. Let me know what you guys think of the Halloween game. Is it going to be gas or is it going to be absolute dog shit? I personally have no hope in the game, so I guess we'll see what happens in September. Special thanks to our channel members, especially our space captains like CM Platinum, Elements, and Zork Gaming channel. You guys are helping me be able to keep the lights on and be able to slowly get a little more stability back into my life, and of course being able to hire on some incredible people to help bring these projects to life. So if you want to support the channel, that is the best way to do so for either our $2 tier or our $5 tier. The next video coming out will be the birthday vlog. It will be out sometime towards the end of this month, as long as things keep progressing the way they've been. I'm really excited for you guys to see that, even though it's been 2 years since it's actually been filmed. It was a really fun week, and I'm really excited to show that off. Next video essay will be the juniors video essay sometime in July, along with some other future projects that I'll be talking about, in the future. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you leave a like, subscribe if you're new and you want to stay up to date on whenever we post videos like this, or for whenever we go live, because we've been starting to go live again more recently, which has been a lot of fun, honestly. I hope you all have a fantastic day, night, or evening, wherever you may be, and I'll talk to you all later. Bye-bye!